Alright guys, welcome to episode 4 of the M. Night Shyamalan review series. Today, we'll be covering Signs from 2002. So this film stars Mel Gibson, who plays a reverend who has seemingly lost his faith after losing his wife in a tragic accident. And he's also a farmer. And one day he goes out and sees that there's crop circles in his crops. And it leads to a whole bunch of signs that there may be some alien invasion afoot. This film not only has Mel Gibson, but it also has Joaquin Phoenix, which I absolutely love him. I think he's a great actor. Rory Culkin, who is in this film as the little boy, is also in Scream 4, and I think he's the brother of Macaulay Culkin. I could be wrong on that, but they look quite similar. I haven't seen this film since maybe over a decade ago, and I gotta say, it holds up well. Aside from the CGI aliens, which isn't the best, it's early 2000s CGI work, but M. Night Shyamalan did a great job at hiding the aliens from the screen, so we aren't forced to look at terrible CGI the entire movie. And the way he filmed it, I thought this film was very suspenseful. I was actually, even though I knew what was going to happen, I knew how it was going to happen. This film kept me on the edge of my seat still, especially in that third act. It was tense. It was funny throughout. There were some comedic moments too. Like there's some subtle comedy throughout it, and I chuckled a couple times. And it's got a lot of heart, got a lot of emotion. I love films that deal with faith and especially getting back to it. And this film hit it home too. Shyamalan is a very good director when it comes to creating an emotion and blending emotions. So he blends horror, thrills, comedy, and drama, sadness, despair, all very well. This is the first time of his first 4 films, at least, that the twist didn't really pay off too well. The twist was pretty weak, I gotta say. Even though he did kind of set it up throughout the film, it wasn't set up that well. You kind of saw it coming, but it was too stupid for you to even guess. But it was just a good movie. This movie is 20 years old this year. So before we get into the spoilers, I'm going to give you guys my rating. And this film is a solid B. It's like, yeah, there are some maybe cheesy moments throughout the movie, but Shyamalan directed his butt off in this film. He really, really did. That third act, when that happens and the invasion begins, whew. Alright guys, now let's get into the spoilers. The aliens don't like water, so they come to a planet that is filled mostly with water. I think they were just coming to harvest us, so they weren't harvesting the land though, so I could kind of buy why they were coming. They were harvesting us for some unknown reason, and I'm assuming they would take us from wherever and go back to their own home, because they definitely weren't planning to spend any time on Earth. So I'm okay with that, but I don't know, it was kind of cheesy. There wasn't much of a twist. It was whatever. I did like, though, even though the twist was cheesy, I thought the ending was pretty solid. Swing away, Meryl, and that was cool. Even the themes of signs, like, you thought the film was called Signs because they're signs from aliens. It's not really called that because it's called about signs from whether things are coincidences or signs from God, miracles, and that entire theme I thought was pretty compelling. But when that third act really dug in, that's when I was like, that's when I was kind of actually tense. I had the lights off and the things are creeping around the house, and I'm like, this is actually kind of intense. But what really set the mood for that beginning of that act was they're like, oh, we forgot Isabel, the dog outside. And she was barking, bark, 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 bark. There's something approaching her. You just could tell by the way she's barking frantically that something's coming for her. And you're just listening, you know what's going to happen. The camera zooms in on the wall as you hear the dog barking. And then all of a sudden you hear her whimper and cries if something's attacking her, killing her. And that entire scene just like, whew, was silence. It was intense. I thought that was a great moment. It really it made me feel bad inside because I love dogs. I hate seeing that stuff in movies. I didn't know if Shyamalan was actually going to go there. He did, and it set the mood for the rest of the movie. This film would, without a doubt, be in a Shyamalan marathon. Good movie, solid B, without a doubt. It's there. There are some issues with that. There's the weakest part, or the antagonists, the aliens. Their motives obviously weren't the clearest. They didn't look that great because it was CGI. There are some very creepy scenes with the aliens and the hands and whatnot, the claws. This is the second movie in a row in which somebody's weakness is water. I mean, David Dunn's weakness was water in Unbreakable. Now it's the alien's weakness. I don't know. Maybe, does M. Night Shyamalan know how to swim? Did he drown when he was a kid? So, the next film, Episode 5, The Village from 2004, is up next. I'll be watching that in a couple days, and I'll give you my thoughts. But that's it for now, and I'll talk to you guys next time.